Hello everyone, my name's Surreal Lemming, and with us again we have got Worldwide.
Hi everybody, nice to see you again.
You're becoming a bit of a staple of the show, it seems.
Well, I'll be your wingman anytime.
Ah, yes. Just call me Iceman. Bringing you another game of Planetary Annihilation, as you could have guessed by the title. It's in Alpha Build 50,000 again. There has been another build as of time of recording, but I haven't managed to get a good game of it yet, so hopefully we'll be able to get one going soon. Quick bit of community news. Tomorrow on Friday the 28th of June, Uber are doing a live stream at 1 PM Pacific time.
And will you be watching that?
I'll be tuning in. I hope everyone else will as well, because it's always good to find out more information about the game and its status. Linux, Mac and Windows 32-bit builds are now confirmed to be fairly stable, which is fantastic.
Right.
And lots of people got given feedback on it, and it seems to work great. So if you're on any of those builds and you're a bit worried about it only being 64-bit, it's not, and it seems to run fine. So
cool, excellent. Well, I just want to point out this planet is very rocky. We've not got much green this time or much ocean. It's a nice seed, I think.
Yeah, it's generated very, very snowy.
Snowy and mountainy, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few of these. There seems to be like a planet type which is rock snow. It looks nice, very different from a lot of the other planets, which is cool.
Because we've talked about some of the planets we're looking forward to seeing. Like, I particularly want to see a metal and an ocean planet. I believe you wanted to particularly see an ocean planet, didn't you?
I would love to see a purely ocean planet. I haven't had one generated. I don't know whether ocean planets are in the game yet. I know metal planets aren't.
Yeah.
And the lava planets aren't either. I don't know how the lava planet's going to work though.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting.
But a purely ocean planet with just like sparse bits of land is going to be great to play on, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be really interesting. Do we know if they're going to do underwater buildings like...
The naval factory, the fabrication ships can build, not underwater, but they're floating versions of the mass and... not mass, metal and energy facilities, both tech versions as well, Tech 1 and Tech 2. Also floating point defence and torpedoes. And anti-air as well, I think, and walls. They've actually got two different types of walls. You've got floating general wall and mines.
Wow, okay, that's really interesting. Now, should we introduce the players?
Yeah, well, we've got me in the pink, playing player 1 for... Well, it's quite unusual for me to play player 1, but I did this time.
And Jamboned in the blue.
There's also Heismeister in the black.
I'm afraid you have to do the last one for me.
Felipe's... I can't actually see... We'll say his name... Oh, Felipe's Blast 1. There you go.
The snow blocking there briefly.
Yes, they couldn't see very well. I picked this game out because we all decided to be... Well, we didn't all decide. They are fairly new players, they told me up front, so I decided to play a bit more conservative and econ focused as per usual.
And it's nice to, I know it's kind of a standard these days, but it's nice to have a little bit of lobby chat. I know we don't always show it on the videos, but you know, I think that's going to be really interesting in the later games.
Oh yes, when we actually get full lobbies as well, so you're not just chatting in the game screens, but chatting with hundreds of other people on the same server as you. It's like, it's always been great on Battle.net, on the old Total Annihilation, all that sort of stuff, just chatting with people. And a few games are actually doing it these days. Even StarCraft 2, you're limited to only 100 people in a single chat room.
Yeah, it seems odd. Now, you mentioned previously when we were talking about the kind of pro side of this and the esports side, so people watching it, that there was going to be a possibility of multiple people spectating at the same time on a game.
Yes, it's perfectly plausible that as long as the server can handle it, any number of people can watch a game live and use the chronocam and do anything they want with it. It's only to do with server load. They're not restricting you in any way.
That is really cool. I've got to be honest. I'd love to sit there and watch. There's plenty of pro games. I know in StarCraft 2 now that we can watch like replays and get in on the action. Yeah. But watching it live, being there, spectating, looking at what your favourite pro is doing, it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's also going to be great for the esports community because at the moment, with like StarCraft 2, you have your big casters, you have your Day 9, your Tastosis, and all that lot. And they're great. I love them. But when they're casting a game, no one else can. It's just them. But what it will mean is there'll be lots of people streaming all at once, casting the same game, so you can see from different perspectives, different point of view, different casters.
Now you say that, but we did have in the recent StarCraft 2 World League, we did have multiple games being cast by multiple. Sorry, the same game being cast by multiple casters.
Yes, so you can pick who you wanted to listen to.
Yeah. So and that's going to be something we're going to see in the future with hopefully with Planetary Annihilation.
Well, there's infinite possibility for it because you could have 100 casters casting the same game and it won't affect any of them for doing so.
Brilliant. And I hope that we will be casting games. We may not be as big as some of the huge names. I believe you mentioned a particularly big name involved with Supreme Commando.
Oh, Zaphodex, yes.
Right.
Zaphodex. I can never remember how you like to pronounce it, but he's fantastic, very easy to listen to. In fact, guys, check it out. Watch his old Supreme Commander cast because they're fantastic. It teaches you a lot about how to play the game.
And we haven't got really much action at the start of this game. We're looking at, I know I say it every video, but the standard build. I've got
a slight deviation here.
All right.
I haven't got an advanced bot factory yet. I'm just going more and more econ. I'm playing very, very greedy. I just wanted to see how far I could push it, really.
Now, calm down, viewers. Oh. I know he very rarely plays greedy. Honest.
Have spotted a player to my north.
Okay, which colour?
Black. So that's Heismeister.
Heismeister.
Which is a great name.
Yeah, I like Heismeister. And what are we going to be seeing here? Are we going to see a scout at this stage then, as you know there's a player there, or are we going to see you building radar?
I've built radar fairly close, and I'm not worried because that flank is fairly protected by. It's got a big crevice next to it, and there's tons of mountain range in the way. There's an ocean to the side as well, which means he can't come from that direction. So I'm not worried about it because if he tries to push that front, it will group them all together. My commander can fairly easily deal with it because they'll be grouped.
Oh, there's an ocean though. I didn't see that in the original start of the video.
Oh yeah, there is an ocean just north of my base.
Oh, okay.
It's not a very big ocean, so I don't think anyone's going to go see. But as you can see, it's like there's a massive wall essentially between him and I, natural wall. So
okay.
It'd be very hard for him to push through that.
Okay, well, we've seen from previous videos how getting into a choke point and bad positional play can really just decimate an army. So at this stage, we're pretty secure.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I can't wait till we can really start getting what I think of as the start of the tactical games with the mass points being legitimate.
Yeah.
Sorry, metal points.
At the moment, the spam is just silly. It's still perfectly playable, but with the mass points, it's going to be a completely different game.
Or is that blue?
That is indeed blue.
So black to the north, blue to the east.
Yep.
And okay, we still got one player on a counter.
I have not found purple as of yet.
And we still do not see those turrets being put in the correct place.
Yep.
Sorry, rotated correctly.
I'll try and do that next time we record.
Greatly appreciated.
Although they're nearly facing the right direction.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. I'm a little harsh, guys. You've got to remember that when it comes to tactical games, I really do like to try and push it to the limits. Unfortunately, my skill isn't capable of fully ranging the tactical abilities, but I expect better from Lemmy because he's a better player than me.
He pushes forward with an air scout and a land scout, getting the double scout action going on. Doesn't really do anything other than that, so I switch over production to so a little bit of anti-air hitters, bombers, and then tanks.
Because even a few early bombers could hurt you at this stage, couldn't it?
Very much so, very much so.
I mean, how quickly can the commander get up anti-air defense if you do find yourself in a bit of trouble at the early start?
If your econ's good enough, I think he builds A in about 15 seconds.
Okay, so that's not too bad then.
Yeah.
But again, with your spread out base, we could get into positional difficulties.
Yeah, so I much prefer just pushing out some tech with anti-air vehicles because I can place them very quickly, very easily, and move them about as needed.
Okay, so we've actually seen a factory in range. We're getting an additional tower up and a little fire base, which we always like the fire base concept.
Well, this is purely for defence, really.
With that range, that's going to be a little close. That third, is that third not in range?
No, the third wouldn't be in range of that factory.
Okay.
I am going to get artillery there soon.
Well, artillery definitely will be in range.
Yes, it will. But at first it was purely defensive because it's so easy to defend through that tiny little gap. And with that factory there, I know there's not going to be any ground forces coming through there because it's not going to get past.
I do notice with this early build that you've got much less of a deficit of every resource than you normally do at this stage. And is that because of the drop of the advanced factory?
Yes. the amount of energy it takes to build from that advanced factory is massive, and it takes so much metal to build it with base units as well. I think it's like 50 metal from your vehicle, a cycle to build it. So I was able to instead dump that into econ, which lets me get it out a lot quicker.
I really like the positioning you're doing of these energy producers. They're really nicely situated in that little culvert.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit of radar on that side as well, so there's not a base too close. So I know that for all intents and purposes, those are safe.
Right, okay.
And a bit of a problem happens here. My commander gets stuck. I could destroy that energy facility, but I did it in a game previously, and it killed my commander. So I think the best thing to do is just get him to build some anti-air right next to him, just in case, and then leave him be for the rest of the game.
I suppose if when it comes to the loss of commander, that you being out of the game, that's a reasonable choice at this stage.
Yeah. I've gone back into building more fabrication bots because I'm not worried about them pushing by land now.
And you've just lost your primary builder.
Oh, yeah. At this stage in the game, though, I don't think the commander is that great, to be honest, because he's quite slow in moving.
You normally use that, though, by building, just large sections of energy, again, as the commander was doing just there.
Oh, yeah, I probably would have sent him off to build a bit more energy, but the loss in build capacity isn't really that great.
Yeah, because you're not actually using all your build capacity currently. It's more there for the later stages of the game, getting out now and in emergency.
So I'm building a second Tech 1 artillery in a different position. So if he does try and push, I'm going to have a very good flank on him with the artillery. So even if he does manage to take out one, I should still be able to take out the rest of his army with the other.
And it would also give him, it would make target prioritization difficult, because that means there's long periods of time where he's thinking he's got to take the artillery, and therefore he could be avoiding other buildings to try and get there as quickly as possible, which buys you more time.
Exactly.
And it's something we don't talk about very often. Buying time, it can be a huge factor in tactical games.
Oh, definitely. If it takes 5 seconds for him to do that, that means I could have an extra Tech 2 tank.
Yeah, and that can make the difference.
It can make a huge difference.
And so, is that what is that in the centre of the place?
He's mentioning that in the chat. He's mentioned that you can see everyone on the sun. I'm just telling you that's my favourite bug in the game, because walking on the sun.
You didn't show us?
I didn't show, no, unfortunately. I was a little bit worried about this guy pushing.
Don't worry, viewers. I'll remind him next time. If you'd like to see the sun bug, why don't you drop us a comment? We're happy to have a chat, and we'll see if we can get some of that up. Yeah, so if someone wants, I'll happily just upload a separate video. Yeah, that'll be great. So what were you saying before I interrupted you? Yeah, what was that building you were building in the middle of your base? Looked like
Tech 2 radar.
Tech 2 radar. That's odd for you. Normally you position them further out.
I know they're very close to me, so this Tech 2 radar actually covers the majority of black and white space. Right. Or black and blue space. Sorry.
So it's kind of like it's not a redundant system for the other radars. It's actually your primary radar facility now. The other two, the Tech 1s, are now the redundant system.
And it's because I built so close to the factory, I was able to get it very quickly because there's no travel time. And it was right next to the build capacity as well, so I could just pump that straight on it again, build it very quickly. And it's incredibly safe. There's no danger of anything there.
Unless we're missing a big bit of Blue's base, he's really behind.
Yeah, I don't think Blue builds that much, unfortunately.
Well, sorry, Jambone. You don't worry, mate. Jump on, watch a couple of Lemmings videos. You'll see how to do it.
I believe in the start of the game, I did suggest that everyone does the energy metal factory start, because it does give you a huge boost at the minute. I'm sure, again, there's people far smarter than I who can think of a better start, but
currently that's the way you're playing it, and from what we've seen, it's worked very effectively for you.
Yes, I mean, it means that I very rarely am in the deficit of energy. I do get into a deficit of metal. I'm wondering how to fix that, but I can't really think of a way, and it's all going to change when the metal points come into play anyway. Yeah, because that's gonna make it a little more difficult in that first couple of steps, isn't it? Yeah, I do think when the metal points come in, they're going to have to buff the amount of metal you get from the metal extractors. Because at the minute you only get 7 metal, but you need 2 or 3 to power 1 builder.
Yeah, I can see why that would become a difficulty. Whoa, is that artillery?
That is my Tech 1 artillery, laying fire on his base now.
That should force a reaction.
If it does, I've got enough point defense there.
Oh yeah. So. He hasn't got a choice at this stage. He needs to either relocate his base, as we talked about, being generally the best strategy if you're in trouble and the person is superior to you, or he's going to have to try and push, but we know how that's going to end.
I decided to go mass land factory because I've gone quite a few air games so far. I do like my Tech 2 Air, but it does seem a little cheap, and here's actually a little push coming in.
That's a lot of black.
Now you can see how far he'd actually have to go, and he still has to go even further through a massive choke point to get to me. So I'm not really worried about this attack at all, and especially because my artillery is able to fire on them in that choke point. But he's moving his units quite well, avoiding lots of the shots.
Yeah, and there's a lovely little bit of micro there, just getting everything out of range.
It does mean that I'm not laying fire on Blue's base as much as I would like at the minute. But
now I did notice there was another artillery. That looked like a bigger artillery. That looked like a Tech 2.
I am building a Tech 2 artillery to fire into the heights mixers. Jambone has left the game.
Oh,
that's unfortunate. Or he's left the game, or his game crashed. Benefit of the doubt, his game crashed.
Yeah, benefit of the doubt.
But I'm about to get his commando anyway, so...
And to be honest, he was in a difficult position.
Yeah.
It's possible that he had some early action with black, and that's why he's so behind.
I decided to go with Tech 2 artillery this time. Although I did cancel and go to tanks. I wanted to get a couple out, though, before I noticed the attack on the end, because they're now going to fire over the mountains into his base. It was actually the first time I built tanks not on reaction, on thought.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So currently we're going to be moving towards these land factories now. Where is the shift click on that? Did that fault? I don't see they've been moving over to build it.
Oh no, they're down there.
They're down there. I see.
Yeah, that was another one I was building earlier.
And again, dat base. Base. A little scouting sortie, is that?
Yeah.
And he's now seen dat base.
The anti-air that my commander built, doing me proud there.
But even then, if you saw what he actually saw then, I would say he got 50% of that base. And you would easily think, oh, that's all he has. He's got a lot. He didn't realise you've got an absolute metric F-ton.
Yeah, I've got a lot behind the scenes that he just didn't see on the scout. And the other benefit of having a big spread out base, his radar can't cover it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You'd have to build radar and cover most of my base at this point, but I've already got Tech 2 radar on most of the outskirts, so I could see that quite easily.
Now, I'm seeing you build a lot more anti-air turrets than you usually build.
That's because I'm assuming that this guy is intelligent, and he is fairly intelligent, and knows it's a very tight choke into my base, so he's likely to go more air.
Yeah, that's the reasonable choice I would have made as well.
Yeah, I'm actually going land, because I know that I can easily push that ground because I have coverage with artillery there now.
Yeah, and that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it allows me to get units in there very easily. And with the Tech 2 artillery now.
And you're really starting to pound away. Now, again, there's not too much of a trouble at this stage. It's annoying, but it's not forcing an issue at the moment. I see this is probably bombers or scouts, I would guess, by the speed.
It's bombers.
Ah, there we go.
He does actually find a fairly undefended part of my base.
Which
to be fair, there's quite a few of them.
Yeah, but again, as we talked about buying time, and you could lose this mass, and you've got enough build capacity to build it elsewhere. There's a bit going on in chat now.
Felipe's blast was wondering what the explosion was, but it was Jambo's commander exploding from my artillery shots.
Oh no!
Sorry I didn't get that on camera, but I'm a bit worried about these bombers.
Fair enough, and we've talked again about the possible weakness to your current build with. Concerted, decent bomber attacks. But that's not what's happening here. At the moment, I would say this would count as probing.
If he had 5 or 6 bombers, say he switched over when his land attack failed, he probably would be able to do a bit more damage. However, buildings have a lot of HP against Tech 1 bombers.
Okay.
And with the amount of build capacity I've got, as you'll see in a second, I can throw up anti-air bloody quickly.
Yeah, fair enough. And the tanks are starting to roll off, which is what we want to see here.
Yep.
And again, I'm surprised you haven't gone to a little bit more.
Tech 2 tank again, saving the day.
Tech 2 tank. How to take bombers, guys. Just in case anyone is flying over your house with a bomber, with some form of jet bomber, just go find your nearest tank. And we've all got them lying about. I mean, we've got a barracks about 20 metres. 20 metres. What am I talking about?
20-minute walk away.
20-minute walk away. So, just go get your local tank.
What was it? One thing, my Tech 2 artillery's been firing at this thing for donkeys. look how little damage it does.
Is that
to
a wall?
Walls. Yeah.
Ah, that's really clever.
They do so little damage to walls.
That is really clever.
And in fact, the tanks decide to target fire the walls.
Ah.
Have to individually target fire the turrets, which actually forces us to attack back.
And again, Uber's promised us a lack of micro. I'm not quite sure they thought this bit through.
I'm sure Saurian will sort this out eventually.
Fair enough.
But look, how much damage the walls take.
Yeah, that makes a really interesting point. When you're looking at targeting stuff via the radar range rather than actual scout range, that makes walls really powerful. If you can stop them getting scout, but it's much harder to stop someone getting radar, you could easily put them in walls in a position that means they're going to be priority targeted.
Exactly, exactly. Now, there is going to be a metagame with that, with people building walls at the front and then people
building walls in odd places.
People building walls all places to stop the artillery, but then
and of course,
annoying for your own stuff.
If you do take a scout over, the pros will remember what they've seen. It's very unlikely they're going to be targeting the incorrect. But even then, it adds an extra thought time, which and a lot of the pro play, an element of pro play is muscle memory.
Yes, I kind of wish that it worked like Dragon Teeth and TA, that once you've seen them, they stay visible on the map. Even through Fog of War, because it's so hard. Like, otherwise, you're going to have to select your artillery and shift click the things you want to attack every single time you want to use artillery in any sort of level of play.
I've got to be honest, when I used to use a lot of I did favour the big Berthas in Annihilation. That's an artillery unit, just in case anyone doesn't know. Artillery building to be precise.
Well, it's the equivalent of Tech 2 artillery.
Yeah. I would shift click my targets as a priority just because I wanted them to attack certain things as a priority.
Yes, but you don't want to just have to do it constantly. And the pro players will be dropping more walls.
Yeah, true.
Constantly. They will be dropping walls everywhere. And
how expensive are they?
Oh, they're very cheap.
Really?
One of the cheaper units. Yeah, cheapest probably building. Unfortunately for this guy, I do notice his back end is indeed wide open.
We do like a wide open back end.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so you're going to start pushing in with these tanks again. I'm surprised you haven't got any other form of support, be it artillery, air, or even just a bit of fodder in here.
Well, I've got so much fire on my base, and as we know, the best anti-air is a Tech 2 tank.
Of course. Why did I even think?
The bombers didn't even get a shot off there. I mean, I know he doesn't have a massive air force because he hasn't pushed the weak points yet.
Yeah, and he would have.
Yeah, he wouldn't have just kept it back in case I attacked. He would have been trying to take out the weak points that he's noticed.
So we still haven't seen anything from Purple. Are you not a little bit concerned about what he's doing? I'm surprised you haven't got at least one air scout out to just go and find him.
I'm a little concerned. I think I know roughly where he is, though.
How did you? Psychic senses?
No, I had a Tech 2 bot making radar, and he died over there. So I assumed there must have been something there that killed it.
That's a little close.
I have got a lot of build capacity here. How?
That would be a forward command post if I've ever seen one.
It is very forward. He does have some units coming, though.
Is that, I believe, anti-air vehicles?
No, it's not. That is just the single Tech... Not single, it's the Tech 1 bot.
Okay.
Attack 5.
Very similar visual fire from the anti-air vehicle as well.
Yes, but it doesn't track. All the anti-air units, their shots track. So I decided to build a bit further back. Unfortunately, he does have Tech 2 radar, so he noticed it quite quickly. I'm hoping that I can do this. I lost more
build capacity
than I would have liked there. He's also got Tech 2 artillery there.
Okay, so this guy is actually a possible danger.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Let's see how Lemming deals with that. We've got a player on the map for one of the rare occasions that is a possible danger. And your first, is that still on a turret or is that radar?
I think I'm building radar at the minute.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I've decided to just bring all my tanks down there, though. But I want to make sure that I finish off High's Master first.
Okay.
I can't see his comm, though. It's hiding a bit. So
we're moving out. We've taken a massive amount of the planet, and you can see from the positional play that you're in a real good. Would it not be better to run around the other side? Is it that far away?
No. This is the fastest direction. If you right click, they will move in the direction that's quickest.
Oh, that's really nice.
So if you can just right click and see which way is the quickest.
Well done, there, Saurian.
Again, attacking the walls over units that can kill them.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah.
Again, it's so early, we don't know if that's intended.
I highly doubt it's intended.
But then why would you have... Because again, you think walls are literally just to shut down movement, don't you?
Yes, but because, again, this game uses direct firing angles, so you have to have direct line of sight on the shots to hit them. Lower down units, like the Tech 1 bots, can't shoot over walls to hit things behind them.
Right, okay.
So you can shut down movement and defend the turrets behind them very easily.
All right.
However, the turrets are quite tall.
Yeah, see, that's the bit I don't get.
But it just means you can't put your turrets right next to the wall, you have to put it further back. This is the way planets curve.
Whereas the artillery is actually a lot snubbier in terms of height, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
But the artillery is shorter.
Yeah. Sorry, snubbier in terms of height is probably a bad way of describing it. So we've got a large tank force here, and I'm still surprised you haven't chased... Oh, getting a little bit stuck there, boys.
Yep.
A little bit stuck in between the buildings. And what's the little chat? GG.
GG, Heisemaster.
Ah, that's very sweet. Something we haven't seen a lot of, actually.
Yeah, coming from playing a lot of StarCraft 2, it becomes second nature to me now. But obviously, a lot of these people probably aren't new to esports. Lots of people backed it. They love Total Annihilation, which most people didn't really play online.
No,
it's majoritively a single player or LAN game.
I do remember there were some fun times online. I did enjoy. Now he probably doesn't know the horror that is coming his way.
Yeah.
Because, wow, I mean, he's not even done that much damage.
One thing I do love, though, is because they're all trying to push into each other. The tanks at the back are actually pushing the ones... are actually pushing the ones at the front forward.
Okay, we've got glitchy tanks there. That's quite sweet. Look at them bob. Look at them bob. Oh, they're trying to get through that Z turret.
I bought lots of build capacity down here because I think, what's the best way to fight Tech 2 artillery?
With more Tech 2 artillery. I like that plan.
I think that's best, especially as there's no way you can push this firebase.
And you see, every time you rotate the artillery perfectly.
Yeah, but not the turrets. I always forget the turrets.
Fair enough. Okay, so we're moving down with this large group of tanks, and really, I'm going to be honest, I can't see much more in this video.
There isn't. I decided to build Tech 2 artillery because I am a little worried. I know he tap moves some form of artillery. I assumed it was Tech 2.
Now,
it could have been Tech 1.
Fair enough. The amount of time that he's in this game, they should be quite... Well, I mean, you know, we would hope it'd be relatively large. It's not going to be, though, is it?
It's not huge, unfortunately. I mean, you saw how much Tech 1 he had that was attacking me with.
Yeah.
He does have a little bit of Tech 2 bottage, I think, but not huge amounts.
And really, I was expecting to find this player a lot earlier because he would have the other half of the map. Is that?
He does say GG at this point. I think I've destroyed his base.
Right.
And that is the end of the game. I mean, I feel a bit bad. These guys were quite new to the game. I did try and stay back a bit. But I think it's another one of those games that showed that even if people are very close to you, you can still push out lots and lots of econ without too much worry as long as you're a bit careful.
And there's the commander.
That is indeed. And that is GG.
That was a nuke. That was a nuke going down.
He did build a nuke. He says GG, thinking that it would be a bit of an offensive GG, because he thinks he can nuke my units. And he didn't realise it still only does 1 damage. So I do say only does 1 damage at the moment. Sorry.
Fair enough. Well, that's it.
That is indeed the end of the game. So I believe that we will be putting another video up tomorrow.
Excellent. I will enjoy that.
It'll be a fresh one on the current patch, so there's a couple of balance changes. Subs are kind of working now.
And you've promised us you're going to check in a bit more of the balance notes this time, haven't you?
Yes, I will be.
Brilliant.
So, I've been Swear Lemming.
And I've been Morgway, signing out.
Yep, signing out.